Hey, what's up, everybody? I am here to talk about Spooky Empire 2018, which happened last weekend. Before I get into anything else, I want to say that it was a pleasure meeting so many of you guys and getting a chance to hang out with you guys. I actually had a blast for like 90% of the Comic Con. I didn't really go to do a whole lot of fangirling per se as far as meeting David and Jillian and other cast members because I've done it before. My main reason for going was to hang out with you guys and meet my friends that were going to meet David and Jillian. And some of the people that I got to meet were so awesome because this was your first con experience. And I realized that it was very difficult for a handful of people because the con was a little bit poorly organized. Now, before I get too much into what happened and the actual poop show that was Spooky Empire, I want to say again, I really appreciate everyone that I got to hang out with, and you guys are awesome, and you're the reason I go to these things. I always have more fun meeting other X-File fans and other David fans and other people that are fans and enjoy the same things that I do. That to me is so much more exciting. Real life friendships that I get to have and potentially forever. I just think it's really cool because it's really kind of hard in real life to meet people that are interested in the X-Files or some of the geeky stuff that you're interested in. I also like these cons because it's kind of a safe place for geeks and nerds and weird people to just fly their weird flag and just be whatever they need to be. Walt dressed up as a blobfish. We tried our best to keep that a secret, but as soon as we started walking around, people knew exactly what it was. A few people might not have. Some people didn't get it, and some people ridiculed and were...
Find you, Jesus!
And to those people, I say I really feel sorry for you because...
It's because you're a dumbass.
You are never going to understand what cons are about. And if you're going to go in and judge people for the way they look or a costume that they're wearing or their body or anything like that...
You are one pathetic loser.
You should not go to cons because... there was a lot of weirdness at this con. There were a lot of much weirder, more bizarre costumes that I saw. I saw a bunch of creepy clowns. There was a creepy clown in the photo op room. Yeah, just standing there in the corner when we went to go get our blobfish photo.
Oh, hell no!
For many fans, this was their first con. I know that a lot of you were not happy with your experience, and for that, I'm really, really sorry. A lot of people were going to meet David or Jillian for the very first time and got less than even 5 seconds with them, and that's pretty normal for a con, but I feel like this con was specifically a lot worse because they overbooked the amount of autograph tickets and they ran out of time, so they instructed people in the Jillian autograph line toward the end to not talk to her, which to me is completely insane because you're paying so much money, $100 for an autograph, don't talk to her. And then one of my friends was told specifically 2 words. That to me is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. I've never seen a con say, don't talk. The whole point of going to these things is to have some type of interaction. Now, I can say usually when I go to these things, and I will say this for everyone else, you have to go in with very, very low expectation. If you go in with high expectations, they're probably not going to be met and you're going to be disappointed. If you go in with low expectations, you'll be pleasantly surprised. But I will say go in with low expectations because you only get a very short amount of time to interact with the celebrity. It's really hard to live up to that kind of build up. For those of you that are disappointed, didn't get a chance to interact for whatever reason, I have to say I am sorry and I totally feel for you. And for those of you that did, I am super happy for you because I can't think of anything better than getting that interaction and getting a chance to have a very good experience. So I can say I had a really good experience. Again, I only had like one interaction that was with David really briefly, and that was basically him laughing about our whole blobfish photo op. I didn't do my normal vlog for the con, like walk around, this is that, here's the floor, all these different things, because as I said, Spooky didn't give me a press pass. Other than that, I did 2 live streams. One was at Amy's hotel room on Friday night. My friend Amy invited a bunch of us to go up there and just talk. So I'll put a link down below for you to see that stream. It's us talking X-Files and a few other things. I also did a live stream vlog of us entering on Saturday in the parking lot. The mess, how we parked in the grass by the swamp, like a good half mile away. There was a serious shortage of parking. Eventually it filled up and they couldn't accommodate everyone that was attending, so people had to park off site and take buses and cabs to the venue. That's how full they got. Overflow Park, like, see those trees all the way back there? It's like another half mile past those trees. I also have a short interview with Annabeth Gish. Such a sweet person. Thank you, Annabeth, for taking some time to just chat with us. We really enjoyed her work on Hill House, so if you're a Hill House fan, we did talk to her a little bit about playing Miss Dudley. So getting back to the con and what exactly happened with the disorganization and the very poor management. I've been to 4 cons this year, and this is probably the least organized, poorly managed con I've been to ever. And that's saying a lot because New York Comic Con is kind of a mess. It's always overcrowded and it can be very disorganized. I did live stream both X-Files panels on YouTube. There are some serious sound issues on those videos, and that sound issue comes from the panel itself being in a huge tent that was kind of outside. That tent required an air system. The air conditioning system made so much noise, and I had previously gone into that room beforehand to check and scope out the panel room, and the minute I walked in there, I knew that that was going to be a problem because I've done a lot of shows in venues like that where we've had to get up and do improv. Sound is always a problem when you have those big fans going on in your venue. Both for the David and Jillian panel and the Mitch, Annabeth, and William B. Davis panel, both panels had sound issues. People that were past a few rows back couldn't hear anything. David's mic kept feeding back throughout the panel on and off. During the other panel with Mitch, Annabeth, and William B. Davis, Mitch's mic kept feeding back. Whoever was in charge of the microphones and balancing the sound and levels did a very poor job because we could not hear them. Now you can expect a little bit of feedback on a mic every now and then, but to have that be a continuous thing is kind of a problem. It just seemed very unprofessional because they should definitely have someone on sound professionally miking them to make sure that people could hear them.
Pick up that phone and make it happen!
That was a big panel, and for many people, they hadn't seen a panel with David and Jillian before. Starting with Friday night, there were some complaints that I heard from fans about the disorganization of the way that the photo ops were run for Mitch, Annabeth, and William B. Davis. If you're watching our live stream discussion, you may have heard us.
So as disorganized as everything was today,
I know.
Tomorrow's gonna be like the fucking apocalypse.
Because based on our experiences on Friday night, which didn't have David and Jillian there, we had a bad feeling that they weren't going to be prepared for the invasion of David and Jillian fans on Saturday. David and Jillian fans are next level intense. On Friday night, it took us a long time just to get our wristbands and to get into the con. I've never waited that long in line just to enter a con, even near a Comic-Con. Usually once they open the gates, you go in, you tap your badge, and you're in. There wasn't a security check, which made me nervous. They didn't check bags. I've never been to a con where they didn't check bags. Aside, what I want to talk about, there was some drama at Spooky that had nothing to do with us. It had to do with Elvira's fan. She had a limited Funko Pop that she was giving away, and a physical fight broke out. And that, from what I understand, was a mess. But the fact that there was an actual fist fight on Friday night over frickin' Funko Pops, it doesn't surprise me. At the same time, I'm like, it would be funny if it wasn't so sad. I didn't even realize what happened because we were leaving the hotel room and we walked downstairs and there were about 5 cops lined up and a bunch of people sitting down looking completely depressed and defeated and very sad. And the cops were looking at them. I think they made a few arrests from what I heard. Elvira actually apologized for this. There was a shortage of these Funko Pops. In my mind, this was another thing that was really messed up for Spooky. Spooky did put a statement out on October 30th. However, it wasn't an apology. Here's what they put on their Facebook page. Happy Halloween Eve, Spooky fam. Just want to take a brief moment and thank you all for this weekend and address a few items that have come up. First and foremost, we want to thank everyone that attended or was involved in Spooky Empire this past weekend. Attendees, vendors, guests, staff, our amazing volunteer team. You're all an integral part of making Spooky successful and helping it to grow, and we appreciate every last one of you. We'd like to also briefly address a couple of issues that came up over the weekend as they've been brought up to us multiple times. I'd like to squash a few things right here so that we can move on to the next Spooky this March. So here's where it starts to get a little bit interesting. Lines and wait time. Yes, there were lines this weekend, and yes, there was a line to get in. Waiting in line is something that comes with attendance. growth. Our attendance this weekend was double our past shows, so of course there will be lines, so of course you may have to wait. No matter how fast we process you, someone will have to wait. It comes with the territory. Could we work on our will call, make it faster? Of course. And that will absolutely be a priority going forward. This was an issue I immediately became aware of over the weekend and have already been discussing. So here's my issue. A lot of people, yes, they had to wait in very long lines, but they're saying they weren't anticipating the volume of people they got. Their ticket sales and how many autograph tickets and how many VIPs and everything else should have been able to alert them based on sales. If you don't have a pre-sale, I could understand that, but they had pre-sale and they should have been able to have an idea about the volume of people that will be coming to this event. Again, I understand their growing pains, but at the same time, they should have been a little bit more prepared and they should have been aware of how many people would be attending. Another issue is nobody knew where to line up for photo ops, for autographs, for anything really. You just saw lines everywhere that weren't marked. Now, in Montreal Comic Con, they had stanchions set up, they had digital boards with everything. I understand this is a smaller con, so maybe they don't have those resources. They could have better managed their staff to be on top of these things and their volunteers, and I actually felt bad for their volunteers because I feel like they weren't under good direction and they were poorly managed, and they simply didn't know where to go line up, and they instructed people to line up in the wrong lines for David's photo ops and Jillian's photo ops and dual photo ops. People were going into David's line that were there for a duo and vice versa, and they all ended up being in one line, and then they were pulling VIPs out, but then they would put all the VIPs together. So that's just talking about the lines and what actually transpired at the event, in addition to the sound issue, in addition to the parking situation. Now here they did address the parking situation. Parking was unfortunately limited at the Caribe. We did the best within the parking situation, as did the hotel. When we booked the venue, we had not anticipated the attendance we would be seeing this weekend. If we decide to return, this will be the top priorities to work on. Again, ticket sales should have indicated how much parking you would need. Let's talk about what happened after the event, because oh my gosh, it's bad enough that the photo op lines were a mess, but what happened was Froggy, which is the photo company, they are not getting their digital photos out to people. Now, normally when you do a con like Wizard World or Montreal, if you order a digital photo when you get there and you want a digital copy, you get it the same day. They told fans and customers that they would be getting their photos on Tuesday. A lot of fans didn't get their photos emailed to them on Tuesday. From what I understand, when they got up to the booth, in order to get a digital photo, you had to write down your email address, and those email addresses were put into a computer and emailed. This is probably why people didn't get their photos, because that is like an ancient technology way of handling photo ops. Like, who does that? That is just not how you handle photo ops. Maybe they need to upgrade their system a little bit or bring in someone that knows what they're doing on that end of things. So basically what started happening was people started getting emailed other people's photos. They got, here's your photo, and it wasn't them, it was someone else. And the hashtag was started called Spooky Mix-Ups. And if you look on the Spooky Mix-Up hashtags, you'll see a lot of people were not getting the right photos. They were sent different photos. I am glad that finally on Thursday, we got an apology. Well, yeah, 2 days ago. Okay, so this is a much better response, and I do appreciate you guys apologizing, finally. But the fact remains that a lot of people haven't gotten their photos. I hope for the future they take measures to fix these glitches and issues and are able to handle what they sell people. Another thing I want to get into, and my experiences going with cons and interacting with people, I have never gone to a con and had an issue with anybody ever face to face, but it appears that every time we show up to go to these things, people online who shall not be named, because honestly, I kind of liken them to Voldemort, always initiate a really nasty shade towards us on their Tumblr blog. And this is for simply showing up to a con. These people who shall not be named do not want us there for whatever reason. They look down their noses at us, they shade us, they say bad things on Tumblr because they can basically get away with it, but they have never said anything to my face. And at some point, I actually put a video on my Tumblr asking people to come and meet me and talk to me and tell me how they felt face to face. I gave them every opportunity because I'm a pretty welcoming person and I'm willing to talk to anybody about any issues and be nice to anyone, and they didn't. The only way they can say these things is online because they don't have enough confidence to say something like this to someone's face. That's the only way they can say it is online.
Why, you're nothing but a great big coward.
You're right, I am a coward.
They know it's wrong. Because if it weren't wrong, they would just come up and tell me. Like, if I really have a problem with somebody, I will come up and tell you to your face.
What a bunch of pussies.
When I got home Friday night from the con, I found some comments already kind of attacking those people for being there.
Those people will be there crowding David's booth.
I just want to say we did not go to David's booth once at this con. Usually if you go to these cons, you're not allowed to hang around with celebrities at their booth. I'm sorry that you feel this way, but I'm not going to stop doing what I do and going to these cons because our presence makes you uncomfortable. We don't hurt anyone. We haven't said anything mean to anybody. These complaints are completely invalid because we weren't even by David's booth. I'd asked She Baltimore so many times to like move on and not worry about us on her blog, but every time she just keeps coming back. She always instigates a new conflict, a new way to shade, a new way to insult us and other fans. I'm pretty sure after being likened to Voldemort, she's gonna cry victim, but I just want to point out once again, I had not posted about her on my blog or my vlogs for months, and out of nowhere, she just started taking swipes at us again.
Your worst enemy just passed by me in a tight pink costume, representing God knows what. Now everyone in the room is embarrassed, and I wish I have had my pick before him. Ugh. Yeah, I saw the pic, and I'm very, very, very far away from Orlando. And I'm embarrassed right there with you, Anon.
I think I said in the beginning of this vlog, Comic-Cons are for people to dress up and look ridiculous. And anyone that can't deal with that, you shouldn't be at a Comic-Con and you have no business being there. We started these cons for geeks and nerds and weirdos. We started these things as a safe space for everyone to just fly whatever flag they want. It's a fucking Comic-Con. For someone to come into our safe space that we created and try to insult someone else's costume or to put them down or make them feel bad. No offense, but get the fuck out of our fandom. Get the fuck out of our cons.
Excuse me, could you please leave?
I survived Spooky. Honestly, I had so much fun. Met D&G for the first time. I nearly fainted. G was an angel. D looked like the happiest he's been all year. Unfortunately, I also saw them. No! And one of them in a pink suit. LOL, I wish you could have come.
Our photo op with Jillian made our Instagram story, and we're so mad about that.
I don't understand, bitch. Don't understand. I don't.
And I just want to make note that these are 3 attacks shading innocent fans that were not instigating or initiating or provoking anything bad or mean towards anyone online or in person. Maybe we didn't invite certain people to our concert because we don't want to be judged the way people here are judging other people.
Nerds like the truth.
As far as everything else that happened, I had a great time. And overall, I had a fun time. It was fun dressing up. It was fun doing the blobfish thing. It was fun making people laugh. And thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos about The Haunting of Hill House episode 4. I've got a couple ghost hunting videos coming out. If you guys enjoyed this video and you like my content and you're not subscribed, please subscribe, but also follow me on Twitter because I'm hearing that YouTube is not notifying our subscribers when our videos go up, and not just us. A lot of YouTubers aren't getting notifications when their videos goes up. Their subscribers aren't getting notifications, so it helps if you put the notification bell on. They'll give you a notification, but that even doesn't work anymore. It sometimes doesn't work. So follow me on Twitter at LauriceF, and you will definitely know when a new video goes up. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see you later.